So we're flipping to chapter 5. Like I said, we'll come back to chapter 8. That's most recent in your memory. So I'm hoping that one, your memory will kind of come back more quickly with that. We're going to talk about the relationships within triangles and similarity. So there was a big chart with chapter 5, because there's a whole bunch of vocab words that came with this. That was the words like median, angle bisector, altitude, perpendicular bisector. So there was a lot of different vocab words that came from this chapter, and they're hard to remember. So when you get to the chapter 5 homework, you might want to have this part of your notes pulled out as well. So, in example 1 here, they ask if this is a triangle, first of all, and then if so, order the angles from smallest to largest. So they give us this information. So anytime they're talking about something and I can't picture it, I'll draw a picture of that triangle. So they're saying that AB is 10, hey, BC is 7, and AC is 4. My drawing's not great, but you can imagine. So Peyton, you'll probably have to watch the first half of the video, but we're on to the second half. All right, how do I know for sure this actually forms a triangle? I drew one, but how do I know this actually works as a triangle? Yep.
Is the two shortest sides for more than that?
Yeah, do 4 plus 7, because those are the two shortest sides. Are they bigger than 10? Yes. So this is a triangle. So it does work. It makes sense. I can't just draw one and say it works, because obviously my drawing is not very good. That looks longer than that one. So my drawing's not great, but the idea is still there. Now they want us to order the angles from smallest to largest. How can I tell? So I labeled this triangle based off the information they gave me. They told me AB is 10, BC is 7, and AC is 4. Bless you. Based off that information, where is the smallest angle? Yeah, okay. Angle B. Why is angle B the smallest?
Because the shortest side is across from it.
Yep, it's across from the shortest side. So angle B would be the smallest angle. Someone other than Courtney, what's the next one? A would be the next smallest because it's across from 7. And then obviously that leaves C as the largest. So we can label it because of the fact that it gave us that information. We knew it was a triangle. We're able to conclude because of the opposite side being the smallest. That's the smallest angle. So in these next two drawings, ooh, I moved that and then that didn't work. Thanks. It's supposed to be like that. Okay, so in this drawing, and you probably forgot, I drew a couple medians in this drawing. So I have two medians. They connect from the vertex and they bisect the opposite side. They tell me they want me to find QZ, and they tell me ZD. This is the type of parts of triangles we talked about with that 2/3, 1/3 idea. So you're like, yeah, that was a while ago. That's why we have notes. So this line, we have D, Q, Z. This should be 1/3 and this should be 2/3 because this is that middle point. So if they tell me the whole thing is 6, what's ZQ going to be? Tell me the whole thing is 6. What's ZQ? What? 4. Yep. Because the third is going to be 2, and then this will be 4. So that 2/3, 1/3 idea is when all the medians come together. It's called the centroid there. And again, that's why we made that note card, is because it's easy to forget about those things. This next drawing, we talked about the mid-segment of a triangle. We talked about the mid-segment of the trapezoid in the most recent section. This was mid-segment of a triangle. So they have a bunch of things labeled here for me. Now, they have these little tick marks. Those tell me that those are equal. So if this is 32, these are each 16. So that means PU is 16. Then they have this marked as 7. That means this is 7 as well. So then the whole thing would be 14, which is TS. Then the toughest part is remembering this rule. So if I know SU is 30, do you guys remember what QP has to be, or PQ? Yeah, it's just going to be half. It's half of the side it's parallel to. It's half of SU, so half of 30 is going to give us 15. And so mid-segment of a triangle is another property or another rule that you're going to want to put on your note card. So this will be 15 then. So when you're ready, we'll look down at chapter 6. And like I said, that was the only chapter we didn't make a chart for. It was similarity. There was a ton of proportions in that chapter. So again, so Pythagorean theorem I said is super important on this exam, and proportions. If you don't use proportions at some point in the exam, something went wrong. So there's not a chart to go with it, but again, proportions show up a whole bunch. I moved a bunch of this stuff around, so it's all still there. All right, so it says to solve for n. And if you guys recall, we cross-multiply here. And when I cross-multiply, when I'm multiplying one term by more than one term, I want to use parentheses. So 5n is fine, but then I'm going 3 times n plus 1. Distribute that 3n. N would be 1.5, or 3 halves. Now when we're talking about similarity, remember this is when we talk about like a mini-me version of something. So similarity means they look alike, but they're not the same size. So when we're talking about similar shapes, the sides are proportional. Means we set up a proportion like you see here, but the angles are equal, the angles are congruent. Now, we learned 3 properties in order to tell like whether or not triangles are similar. One of them was angle, angle. So if I have 2 equal angles, that's enough to say that those triangles have to be similar. There was also side, 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 where all 3 sides had to be proportional, or side, angle, side. Now you might be wondering, hey, didn't we have that like hypotenuse, leg? That was with equal. These are talking about similar, so that slight difference is enough to make it confusing. And that equal stuff was first semester. So it says determine how you know the triangles are similar, then write a similarity statement. Well, so far I only have one set of equal angles. So I can't use angle, angle, or, whoops, side, side, side. So I'm going to be using side, angle, side, hopefully. But the sides need to be proportional. So I need to check that these are proportional. So proportion, I'm going to set up that 9 should go with what side? Which side should 9 go with? Yeah, Jody? 21, because it's also like, it's the smaller of the 2 sides. And then 18 should go with which side? All that's left is 42. And we have to check, are they proportional? And when we cross multiply, we're going to find out these are equal these proportions are equal. So that means by side, angle, side, we have side, angle, side. These would be similar triangles. The last question here with this one though, it says write a similarity statement. So they tell me FGH is similar to triangle. If FGH is in that order, which letter do I have to start with in the next triangle? FGH. So what do I have to start with, Jody? Yeah, because U and F are the same angle. U. So if I go FGH, I'm going to go U, V then, because it goes to the bigger side first, and then W. So the way I name it has to be specific. UV goes with FG. So those two have to be in the same position. And then finally, we should be able to find out missing sides and angles in triangles. So it says finding the missing side and angle of the similar triangles. So they're asking for the value of angle X. What does angle X go with? What do you guys think? Yeah, Jody? 60. Yeah, it looks like it's in the same position. So if I look, these two look like, those are the longest sides, that's the shortest sides. That obviously looks short. These are longer, so X is 60. Again, the angles are the same. So X is 60. But the sides aren't the same, so a question mark isn't 35 degrees, or 35. I'm going to call this Y instead of question mark. So I want to figure out what Y is. However, Y does go with, it's the shortest side, it goes with the 35. I'm going to say Y over 35. Then let's pick another side in this shape. What other side do you guys want to use? Doesn't matter. What other side should we use in that left shape, guys? Pick a number. What's that? 48. So if we decided to use 48, which side in this shape would I have to use? Okay, so 63 is actually the longest side, so that should go with 54. So we chose to use 48, so we have to then use 56. We have to make sure we match up the parts that go together. Now I can cross multiply and set these equal to find out my Y value. And we find out Y is going to be 30. Oops. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys your exam review. For tomorrow, I'd like you guys to do the odds, and then for Wednesday, we'll do the evens. So we're going to end up doing the whole packet, but we're going to break it into 2 days. So odds are due Tuesday. And then evens are due Wednesday. But bring questions on either ones tomorrow. If you guys have questions at all. And they go the same order I think we went in today. So the heading should tell you which section it's from. So odds for tomorrow, evens for Wednesday. That make your reaction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.